It's dangerous being a comic these days, if you don't stick to the political script, that is. I'll give you examples. Barry Humphries had his name taken off the Barry Awards for Best Comic at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival for offending the transgender lobby. Chris Lilly had his comedies removed from Netflix for offending race warriors by doing characters in brownface. Monty Python's Terry Gilliam, he had his stage show cancelled because he offended the transgender lobby by recommending a comedy routine by American superstar Dave Chappelle, a stand-up, who really offended transgender activists. And I could go on. And Vince Sorrenti, I think, sure will, because he's been on the comedy circuit for decades. He won the Mo Award for Australia's Best Comic 3 times after getting his first break as a stand-up in New York, and is now preparing his first big public show in a decade in Sydney's State Theatre, and there'll be a national tour after. He's calling it I'm Offended, in protest at the woke cancel culture. Vince Sorrenti joins me now. What a pleasure to talk to you, Vince. The cancel culture. Look, it's no joking matter. Maybe it is. Actually, maybe you'll make it one. What's your problem with it?
We need comedians, Andrew. We need comics. Comics are a very important part of society, and we need to hear what comics have to say. Comics shouldn't be afraid of going into various subject matters. That's why we have comedy, to deal with things that we should be talking about. Like, comedy is not the problem. Comedy is the solution. You know, comedy is so important, Andrew, you shouldn't be allowed to make money out of it. And I can't believe I said that out loud.
OK, I'll remember that when I go to the box office. But Vince, the excuse that we're given for the cancel culture, right, is that, look, this is really all about good manners, you know. We're just here to stop these terrible comics from saying rude things that could, what do they say now? That could cause harm. It used to be cause offence, cause harm. Do you buy that? That they're just, you know, noble souls trying to protect humble people from you?
No one's trying to hurt anyone, Andrew. I mean, not everyone who talks about ethnicity is a racist. Not everyone who talks about gender is a homophobe or a sexist. Not everyone who talks about politics is a Nazi. The Nazis are the ones trying to shut all this talk down. We need to talk about this stuff. I mean, where does it end? I mean, honestly, I was at a bar recently about to do a show. I was waiting to go on stage, and there was this young 20-something barman behind the bar, and he didn't know me from a bar or something. I said, look, I'm the comic, I'm about to go on. He said, oh, comedy. He said, I don't like comedy. I said, you don't like comedy? Like, he's a young guy. They're afraid of comedy. They're afraid of sort of like the problem areas that it can take you. Well, you know, all comedy, oh, no, don't want to go there. When I came off stage, he bounded up and he said, oh, mate, he said, that was hilarious. He said, how long has this been going on? I said, mate, this is what we need to talk about. This is what people need to engage in. I mean, if we're not laughing at stuff, we're not understanding stuff, and it's all the sort of no-go areas, the areas that we're not supposed to talk about are the ones we really need to talk about.
I know. It's so true. Whether you can tell a joke about some of these things, I don't know. But Vince, like a couple of years ago, you ran into trouble too. Now, I thought it was a funny play on words, but I can see that some people may have got offended. I've got that. You had this line taking off a great song by Dean Martin, That's Amore, but you changed the line to, when you're hit by a thug in a tough Kiwi pub, that's a Maori. You apologised. Was that cancel culture?
Kind of. Mate, I got 100 emails about that. That was on a radio show. All of them from Maoris saying how they love the line. It's a very old line. I haven't done it in a long time. I was more embarrassed that I did the old line than anything else. But the only reason the word Maori is in that ditty is because it rhymes with amore, you know. Like, and we got the station got a phone call from the Sydney Maori wardens. You know, like, has each city got like a squadron of like, you know, people who sort of like the thought police? Where are we going, mate? You know, is the world headed for some dystopian sort of Orwellian place where, you know, people just share jokes amongst each other, like, and hoping that the thought police don't catch them out? It's really bad, mate. I mean, we need comedy, for goodness sake. By the way, I've got a few fondue forks for the Ukrainians in my garage that Prokoshin and the Wagner's people will be scared crapless of.
Oh, terrific, mate. I'm sure our army will send them over the last bit of junk they sent over. So what are you going to do in your show?
We're going to talk about COVID, we're going to talk about nuclear subs, we're going to talk about the environment, we're going to talk about things that we're going to talk about The Voice. I mean, Albo's half Italian. Why haven't we got an Italian?
Oh, my God, you're a danger. Oh, you're a danger junkie. What on earth are you going to do about The Voice?
No, but you're getting it wrong, Andrew. I'm not taking a yes or no position. I'm just airing the linen. I'm looking for a joke about The Voice that doesn't take a yes or no stance, because I just want to raise it so people have got it on their minds and are talking about it and are more comfortable with it. So I say, well, why hasn't Albo got an Italian voice to Parliament? He's half Italian. For all the big issues, there should be an Italian in Parliament. A pineapple on pizza? Forget about it, mate. And no cream in carbonara. So just so there's another angle that we can talk about The Voice. I don't believe you should be yes or no. I've always believed that an entertainer should never take up a political position. The audience should not know how you vote. And you've got to hit both sides with equal force and with equal joy.
Well, I am so glad you came on the show, Vince, because if you're going to go in telling jokes sort of around The Voice, mate, this could get very ugly. So I'm very glad I've seen you before they start taking shots at you.
What have I said that's offensive?
Nothing.
No.
It doesn't matter. Mate, how often do you know that you've tripped these tripwires before they start putting bullets into you? It's crazy out there.
Andrew, when I was a kid, I was a wog and I was the problem. Now I'm a middle-aged white guy and I'm the problem. I mean, where does it end? Oh, my God. I mean, seriously, where does it end?
Line. Look, I have no idea. It's got to stop because I think people have had enough. Vince Sorrenti, good luck with the show. Look forward to it.
October 6th.
Good on you.
October
Thanks for
6th at
coming
the
on.
State Theatre.
October 6th, get your tickets now. Good on you, Vince Sorrenti.